Hey everybody, let's talk about 3 days of Bookmas plus a mini book haul. Hey everybody, my name is Sofia, the Bookish Floor. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have my favorite cozy sweater, which is not really a Christmas sweater, but because it has Zero and The Nightmare Before Christmas has the dog named Zero, it kind of reminds me of Christmas. So we're just gonna go with it. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, let's just figure it out. But welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hey, welcome to the Bookish Floor. This is a place where we talk about books. And in this case, we're talking about Bookmas, which is my yearly Christmas challenge where I try to read 24 Christmas, holiday, winter themed books in 24 days. And you're probably wondering, like, Sophie, is December 9th. Where are the other videos? Have you even read the 9th book? And yes, I have. Even though I haven't published a video every single day, today I'm going to talk about the 3 books that I read on the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th of December. But before I continue, let's go to me from a couple of minutes ago so she can tell you about the first book while she does this makeup. Hey everybody, so instead of just going straight to talking about the book, why don't we go ahead and get ready together? I never do anything like this on my channel, but you know what, I'm gonna talk to you guys about 3 books today because I am doing 3 days of books of Bookmas pretty much, and let's just do something different so I'm not just standing there talking about books. Why am I doing this? Because, you know, when I started Bookmas, just like last year, I thought I'm gonna do a video a day and I'm gonna talk about a book a day, right? I just had to go get this band and I don't know why I got out of breath. So let me catch my breath. So anyway, I was doing that like every year or every challenge or whatever. I think I'm gonna get ahead of the game. I got ahead of the game for a couple of videos, but then I just didn't have time to do them, and now I'm falling behind. So at the end of the day, Bookmas doesn't have to be a video a day. What I want to do is read a book a day. That's definitely one of my goals. And last year I made it to day 17 and then I got burned out because of the whole posting a video a day. That is the thing that gets very when you get burned out. Either people try to do the whole being authentic and living like each day, and then posting the same day. It's a lot of hard work, like trying to film all day, like do the either the blog or the reading the book, and then editing, the filming, editing, posting all in one day. It's a lot. So by the time you're getting to, for me today is day 9 or last year day 17, it's just too much and it's super tiring doing it like every day, including the weekends, doing it during holiday season when there's so many activities. I know we're gonna have activities this weekend again. It's too much. So I'm still doing the book a day that I haven't missed, but the posting I think might not happen every day. But I'm still gonna talk to you guys about the books that I am reading. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm starting my day with my makeup, and I am gonna post the same day, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about 3 books. I'm gonna talk to you guys about the book from Sunday, Monday, and today, because I was able to do a shorter book this morning. This is a little bit later on in the morning. It's not super early. And I was able to wake up early, do lunches, do things like that, and breakfast and all that, and listen to a book of short stories from well-known authors and short stories about Christmas and stuff like that. So I am gonna talk to you guys about that, but while I get ready for filming, I can talk to you guys about the first book, and also a little mini haul then of books that I did on Sunday. So on Sunday, and my whole makeup routine is nothing for you guys to follow. For you guys to, this is not a tutorial, this is a product that I use, nothing like that. I'm very old school when it comes to my makeup. Most of the things that I use, most of the things that I techniques or whatever are super old school. I learned a long time ago. I used to be in dance when I was younger, like a tween and a teen, and a lot of the things that I learned on how to do my makeup, even the basics, are from that. And yeah, they stuck. Some of the new things, like using the sponge, I have modified, because even though I'm a dinosaur, I still change certain things. But if not, I'm like, I used to do things with my hand, then with brushes, then now the sponge. But like, again, none of this is a tutorial, this is just what I do. So this is not for you guys to follow or anything. Like, you can ask if you want, but this is pretty much what I do for myself, not for like anyone to follow. But it's just for me to talk to you guys about books while I do this and not waste time or anything. So yeah, anyways. So the first book that I was listening to on Sunday, I always forget that I have my phone here with my app, and I can tell you in a minute. But why wasn't I able to film on Sunday? Sunday was a family day. We went and did most of our Christmas shopping. We always assign one day to do like our Christmas shopping. Honestly, we fell a little bit behind. We tried to do it the last days of November, not Black Friday or anything like that, just any day of November, and beat like the holiday traffic and all that, because it's insane, the stores. So we do that in our family, because most of our family are adults now. There's just one kiddo, which is mine, and then a couple of teenagers, teenagers and young adults. We do an exchange, a gift exchange. So we all put our names in a hat or whatever, and then we pick someone that includes like parents and all that, grandparents, parents, the teens, the young adults, everybody, and then we pick, and then everybody just puts options of what they want. I know it's not gonna be like a super surprise. We put a budget, we put the options of what we want, and whoever you get, you give them that gift that they selected, and maybe you give a little bit extra if you want. But mostly we try to stick to the budget. This is great for the family because everybody knows what they're getting, everybody gets what they want, everybody sticks to the budget, everybody is happy, and it's about being together, it's about the dinner, it's about spending time together. It's not about the gift, it's not about seeing who has more, who has less, it's not about that. We sometimes play games, sometimes we watch movies, and I remember as a kid, we used to watch a lot of movies at my house with my parents, and that really it's something that does bond us, and it's fun for us to still do that. We watch our classic movies, are like Home Alone and Elf. Don't mind my faces, okay? Don't make fun of me. Again, this is not a tutorial, this is not a makeup thing video, this is just me for myself saving time. So anyways, so that's what we did on Sunday. We went and got the gifts for Christmas. So I didn't get a chance to film anything because it was a family day. We got here super late, super tired, and yeah, I didn't want to film anything. But I did get a chance to go to a Goodwill, because if you guys don't know, if you're new here, hi, how are you? I'm glad you found me on a rare day that I'm doing something different. And if you guys don't know, I thrift a lot of my books, either from library sale, from markets, like secondhand markets, or thrift stores. And I went to Goodwill and I did a little book haul. I actually found a lot of books. However, this time, the Goodwill that I normally go to, they're really good condition. This time, a lot of books were in like rough shape. It means that they were really, really well loved. And I just didn't want to get those for myself. They're always for myself. I have a little store, like a local store where I live, secondhand books, like online, and people just ask me, see what I have on my inventory, and I just meet up and deliver and stuff like that. So yeah, I know you're probably thinking like, that's a lot of blush, but see, you can even tell on camera. So, and then when this is obviously, this is hitting me with the natural light, but in the room where I film, where I have all my books, it's kind of dark and you can really tell the blush or anything. Is different lighting. So anyways, I was able to find 3 books, and I'm gonna show you the little book haul that I have in a minute. So I have the books that I was able to finish on Sunday. I'm gonna show you right here. So this is the one. This is Mistletoe Murder. Mistletoe Murder. Please don't mind the book cover, the audio book cover. If you look it up somewhere else, there's another like cover that is not that great either. This is by Leslie Meir. And please don't judge a book by its cover this time. This book, also please don't judge it by its publication date. This book was published in 1991, and I was so surprised. So what I do is, I usually, if I have a goal, I usually try to look for books by theme, right? And this time I'm looking for holiday books, and I wanted this week to look for books that are varied in genres. So I started looking for like a short story, a kids book. I also read a book of poetry, and I wanted a thriller because the last thriller I wasn't too happy about. So I found this thriller that wasn't that long, that I was able to listen to on a day, and I found this one. So I started listening to it, and it's small town thriller, and it's this woman who works for a company. Think of like LL Bean, something like that. I figured that it was like an older story, not necessarily that it was like written like a long time ago, but it was set in like the 90s, because it was catalog based. So it's this lady who works in a small town like call center, and people call and order things out of a catalog. So that already like was a flashback, because I remember getting catalogs for clothing when I was like super young. You had to give them the number, or you had to fill out the form. That was such a good time. You had to fill in the form with the with like the number, like B1251, like the size that you wanted, and then send like the check or the money order, and then you would wait for your package. Those were good times. Honestly, bring back the catalogs. And yeah, so this lady works for a like call center where they call and they place the order, right, of whatever it is that you want out of the catalog. If you see Gilmore Girls, you see Luke ordering the uniforms, the soccer uniforms for those little girls, like something like that. So this girl works for a place like that, and then she works the night shift. Her husband works for like another place, the day shift. She works the night shift. They live in a small town. They have 3 kids. They like their sweet family, you know, all that. Anyways, it's really cold. She's taking a break. It's the middle of winter, and then she hears a noise. Everything is snowed in. She thinks that it's maybe one of the cars that it's snowed in, and she goes outside and she sees that a guy is in his car, maybe not doing so well, and there's like something going on. So she calls 911, and the guy is like, that's how it starts. So no spoiler there, and there's a mystery, right? Turns out the cop or a detective from the small town, it's a small town, so everybody knows each other. It's her friend, and they kind of sort of start working together. The thing that I liked about this book, you can tell that is this book, the writer tells you more than she shows you. Everything, it's in third person, and everything is telling you, like, they did this, they did that, she did this, she did that, and she again doesn't show you she felt this, she felt that, she thought this, she thought that. No, she doesn't show you with gestures, she doesn't show you with anything else. So I mean, that's the only thing that I didn't particularly like from the writing style. It's very tell you, not show you, but you know, that's okay. The story, the plot, all that I did like. They start to notice that there's a lot of things like that happening. It's not the first one. It turns out that there's a lot of problems going on. Because she starts asking questions and investigating, people are like, lady, you're a mom, you have a job, you have a night job, maybe you should relax. Like, the people in the town are not being like, this is what I like, people in the town are not being sexist or anything. They're just like worried. They're like, maybe you should focus on your family, this could be dangerous for you. And I thought like, like, they're not being sexist pigs. They're really being concerned for her. And even the friend is really like, yeah, you can help me out, like the detective. So I thought that was nice. And then the husband is like, how can I help you? When she gets home from the night shift, he's already like doing the lunches, he's helping out with the kids. I thought like, this is definitely has to be a 2025 book. It just got released because like the husband seems really helpful, really nice. Like, it seems a very modern book, and I really like that part. Like, the men in this book, like the nice men, because there's always like other people, right? And there's obviously a person who is not nice, doing not nice things or doing awful things, because it's a thriller and it's a mystery, right? So the nice people here are like the men are super nice, because, you know, we're not used to seeing that on the page. And yeah, the husband is super helpful with the kids, super attentive to her and her needs. And yeah, you don't see that a lot on the page. So I thought, that's interesting. This has got to be like a modern book. When I looked up the publishing date and realized that it was published in 1991, I was really surprised. So it goes to show you that this whole rhetoric of before there wasn't this, before there wasn't that, men weren't raised like this, but no. They've always been like nice families, nice men, this need for educating people differently and teaching people differently, and you know, there's always been there. It's just that it always gets buried for the interest of other people, right? Because we don't want to have those be we don't want those messages to be sent to the masses. That's what I'm trying to say. So books like this that have those messages are not popular, are not being promoted, are not being talked about. And obviously maybe having covers like this that are not gonna be attractive to people. People not reviewing these types of books, not talking about them, obviously are not gonna make the book popular. So I would recommend everybody reading this book because it shows a different type of husband, a different type of dynamic, a woman who is a mother. She is an older woman, a mother of three, a woman who is working the night shift, who has a husband who respects her and loves her and helps equally with the household work. They both work outside of the home. They both work in the home. They are equal partners. She's also working with a detective as partners, trying to solve this mystery, and this was published in 1991. So I think, if anything else, even if the writing, like I said, is telling you more than showing you, I think this book should be more popular, because I think what it's doing is more important. The plot and the way it's showing these characters is a little bit more important. Maybe that was the style back then, I'm not sure, I don't know the style of writing, but I think I was, like I said, I was very surprised. If that opened a little bit, don't be scared. I have like wind. I have like current of wind. I don't know how to say that. Like corrientes de aire, wind currents, and it opens the door a little bit. So don't freak out. I don't have ghosts yet. Maybe. So, anyways, so yeah, that was very interesting. So if you guys are interested in that book, I actually did like the plot. Also, there's I don't want to tell you what who it ends up being, obviously who ends up being involved, but no surprise there. We always know that those people are sometimes villains, so yeah. I think you'll like it. I think this book is very good, surprisingly, and yeah, I think you're gonna like that murder mystery, small town mom trying to figure out who did it. So when it comes to mystery thrillers, I think that's a good one for you guys to go ahead and check out. So that's it. I know that wasn't like a big thing, but that's it for my makeup. Now, little bit of hair brushing, and I think I'm ready for that. I'm ready to film the rest in the library. So I'll see you. I'm trying to see my makeup here and talk to you guys. I think I'm ready for the library, so I'm gonna see you over there and talk about the rest of the books. Okay, and that brings me back to present me. Hi. Let's talk about the second book that I read, and that one was yesterday. Sorry, between all of these books and all of these days, sometimes my mind just kind of goes everywhere. Like I said, Bookmas and Blogmas and all that can be a lot. And you know, if you're kind of falling behind, if you're kind of not doing as you're planning, it's okay. In this channel, we rest when we have to rest. We don't post if we don't have to post, because I am a girly who suffers from migraines, someone who needs to rest, because that is one of the things that provokes my migraines, not being able to sleep and rest properly. I have to take that very seriously, and whenever I don't sleep well, whenever I feel one coming in, I have to stop and not do the work. I have to pause whatever it is that I'm doing, and I have to pause filming, and I have to take it seriously. So sometimes I'm not gonna post even though I'm supposed to. And Bookmas really takes a toll, because I have to be editing and in front of lights and in front of computer and blue lights and all that. And it really takes a toll on my eyes, on my rest, on my everything that provokes the migraines. So if I have to rest, I have to rest. But today I'm filming the video with the 3 books, because I do use the audiobooks to help me out with my reading. because straining my eyes is also one of the problems. I have to use the audiobook. The second book that I'm gonna talk to you guys about in this video is the one that I listened to yesterday, and that one is The Little Book of Winter, a cozy guide to a season of comfort and happiness. And that one is by Brittany Vicklet. I think I'm saying that correctly. And this one is a guide. This one is not a novel, not a short story, not a kid's story. It's more of a guide of activities that you can do during the winter. And honestly, it was a nice break because it's more of a reflection of what you can do during the winter and the holiday season for you to take advantage of the time, to not be so stressed, to not be so like involved in all the expectations of the season, and just relax and enjoy the time and be more present in your day. It gives you activities from looking out the window to the scenery of the snowy mountains or forests or wherever you live, to like doing like a recipe or even a smoothie. Like, I like the idea of the smoothie because I don't live in a snowy place. I live in Baja. We don't get snow. We do get winter. I hate it when people say like in California or in Baja there's no seasons. We do have seasons. I am cold right now, although right now it's like 70 degrees. It's not that cold. I'm just wearing a sweater or a sweatshirt. It's not super cold today, but today's a rarely warm day for almost being winter. So we're still in fall, but I know it's gonna get a lot colder, and it has been a lot colder. Today is a rare warmer day, but still we don't get snow or anything like that. So a smoothie recipe sounds pretty good right about now, but also yesterday when I was listening to it, I was able to do a recipe of like mini cookies that I'm gonna insert in a minute, and I'm gonna tell you how I did it because I filmed it and I wanted to share it with you and really be present. And it was a really fun activity to be listening to this book of all the ideas things that I can do, and go back to it and just have a relaxing time while I'm able to do this recipe. So it was kind of weird that I'm doing the recipe while I'm listening to ideas of things that I can do while I can relax. So it was very relaxing. Yeah, just listening to this book and doing something small and simple was a great way to relax. So this book is great if you guys have appointments, if you're shopping with someone and you're just there accompanying them, if you want to put on the audiobook, if you are running errands, if you are wrapping gifts, or if you really want to have an idea of an activity that you can do with family members or something that you can play, or a recipe or something, that book has it all. From taking in the day, doing an activity, doing like physical activity, or just being present in the moment, or doing recipes, or doing games, or whatever it is. I know I'm repeating myself. Crafts, anything and everything, it's in that book. So I really liked it. I think this is a good book to actually have like the physical version. Like I said, I have the audiobook. The audiobook was really relaxing to listen to it. However, I think having the physical book to go back to every year and maybe mark the things that you've been doing, the activities that you've been doing every year, and maybe looking back on it throughout the years and completing all the activities that you've done throughout the years with your family, and maybe writing the date or the year that you did it, and maybe the family members that you did that with. Maybe take a picture and put it in the book or something. That would be fun. So maybe that's something for me to think about. Maybe look for that book in my local indie bookstore or thrift shop or wherever I can find it, and maybe start that tradition next year and mark whatever I already did. So that would be something fun to do. So yeah, that was the book that I listened to yesterday. Definitely gonna give it 4 stars because I think that the activities that it gives you are varied. They have something for everybody, and they are very simple activities, like I said, from enjoying the day and being present to elaborate craft ideas. If you are one of those people who want to do like something super big, so whatever you're in the mood for that day, or whatever you want to plan with your family, or even by yourself, if you just want to do something for yourself or by yourself, or just you need something small to appreciate the day sometimes, because the things are so busy or it's a really high pressure season, you just want to kind of check out, unplug, be by yourself, and kind of center and think about really what the season is about or the time is about. Maybe you just want to do an activity for yourself, and it has ideas for that too. So I really like books like that. They can give you that opportunity. So yeah, I think that is a great book to have in hand while you're going through the hectic holiday season. And you can do these activities all throughout winter. They don't have to be just during the Christmas season. All throughout winter, you can do any of these activities. These are not holiday related activities, these are like winter related activities. So that was a lot of fun to listen to it. So yeah, that was the second book.
Hey everybody, editing Sofia right here. So what I'm gonna do is show you the recipe that I did while I was listening to the second book. So it talks a lot about different recipes that you can do, but I decided to do some mini cookies in the shape of flowers or snowflake if you wanted to add some icing. In this case, I didn't add any icing, I just did the simple cookies. So if you guys want to just look up any sugar cookie recipe online, I always end up using a different one. So any sugar cookie recipe would be fine. If you have a family recipe, if you have a recipe from a packet, if you have one that you can look online, that's fine. Once I do my dough, I use coloring to make the red one and the green one. I do suggest that you use at least 4 to 6 drops of food coloring in order to get a bright color, otherwise they come out really pale. And just put it in the center of the dough and just stretch the dough and combine. Or if you want to do it in the mixer, go ahead. Because I already had the dough for other cookies, I had to do it separately. Then I use my mini cookie cutter and just cut the little shapes of the cookies and separated them. Once I did that, I just went ahead and put in my mini oven because it was a very teeny tiny small batch. I just put it in my mini toaster baking oven. I didn't want to use my big oven. Just make sure that you keep an eye on them because they are so small, they can easily burn. And as you can see, because it was my first time doing these teeny tiny little cookies, some of them did burn, but that's okay. This was just something for me to do for fun, and they're all gonna end up being eaten anyways. So anyways, these are the mini cookies that I did. Let me know if you have made mini cookies, if you have tried them out. I also like to make these cookies because you can use the mini cookies, add marshmallows, maybe some nuts, and create a small packet of cereal. So you can make your own personal cereal. Let me know if you make this recipe.
And the third book that I was able to finish today was Heart of Winter Solstice by Meledril Ed Helen, which is a book of poetry. So earlier today, I said that I was able to finish a book of short stories of Christmas Tales. Actually, I started that book, but I'm gonna pause on it all the books are starting to smush in my brain, and I don't know which one's beginning and ending. But I haven't finished that one yet. The last one for today, for sure, so I can send this Bookmas into the universe, is The Heart of Winter Solstice. And this book is about poetry, and I want to talk about poetry a little bit because, you know, I like poetry. I don't read a lot of poetry, I'm gonna say this, but while I was listening to it this morning, a thought occurred to me. And so when I was listening to this book of poetry, it is incredibly beautiful. It was incredibly relaxing, and I really liked it. But a lot of the, not but, and a lot of the poetry talked about wintry scenes, right? So I can appreciate how beautiful it is and how beautifully it's written, but I cannot relate to it because, like I said, I live in Baja. I have no experience with wintry scenes. I have no experience of the feelings that they're conveying about looking out the window and seeing all those sceneries, because I've never experienced that. I went to Yosemite once for a New Year's and it snowed, but that was like a weekend or like a few days of snowy forest time, and it was a completely different context with my family. It wasn't long contemplation alone in the forest, you know what I mean? So I don't have that context. For me, if someone tells me about living in a seaside town in the fall in rain, that I can relate to that and the nostalgia of that. And if you can relate to that, yeah, you can picture that scenery, but I cannot. I can sort of picture that scenery from movies, but those feelings don't come to me when I listen to that. So all those people that are like, oh yes, I understand, that context doesn't apply to me. I can still appreciate how beautiful those words are, and I can still appreciate how they're written, but there's certain elements that I'm not gonna be able to connect to. And that's what I was thinking about. That's the thought that came to mind when it came to poetry yesterday. That, oh, that context, I cannot see it, I cannot apply to it. I cannot apply to my own personal context, to my own personal life. And although I can see, I can understand it as an outsider, there's certain things that I cannot appreciate, see, relate to. And me sitting here and being like, oh yeah, all these wonderful things about winter, whatever, it would be a lie for me to tell you that, because I have no idea. I imagine people like that live in like tropical places would also feel like that when they talk about winter, and songs like Walking in a Winter Wonderland and stuff like that. Because you don't know, because you've never experienced that in your life, right? So you know them, you know the concept, but you've never lived that. So yeah, so that's something that I was thinking about. And in general, with poetry, and you can say in general with all writing, that if you haven't lived something, you can't actually understand like 100% of it. And that is true. You can understand 100% of the context, certain feelings, yes, certain concepts, because you've known about them, yes, but you can't relate 100% to them. No, you can't. So I mean, these are just thoughts in my head. That's it. No judgment on anyone, no anything. Those are just thoughts. And again, remember guys, thoughts are just that. They're just thoughts that come in and they go out, and that's it. They're not opinions. They're not statements that are meant to be true 100%. They're just thoughts sent into the ether that it can always dissolve and change. Okay? That's it. So anyways, that is my experience with poetry. I really did like it. I also gave it 4 stars. Remember, when I give a 5 star, it's a book that I cannot stop thinking about, a book that I'm gonna take in my heart, or I'm gonna put in my heart, and it's gonna live there forever, and I'm gonna talk about it until you tell me shut up, I don't want to hear about that book anymore. That's a 5 star for me. So this is gonna be a 4 star. I saw that it didn't have any reviews on Goodreads. It wasn't even in the story graph, so I added it to story graph. I didn't check if it was on Fable. I don't think I've added to Fable yet. If you live somewhere where you get those snowy, wintry days, you might want to listen to it, and you might relate to it to your core, because it talks a lot about that. And the voice, the narrator, it was very soothing, very relaxing. Honestly, I just put it in this morning. I closed my eyes and just listened to it, and it was so relaxing. And yeah, it was great. So very, very short, less than an hour, maybe a little bit, no, yeah, less than an hour long, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, it was super short, super relaxing, and I would recommend it. And now I'm gonna show you my book haul. I bought 3 books, but one has already been taken. One was one of the warrior books. I don't know if you guys know about this. These are I call them warrior cats, but they're just warrior. This is about cats and different clans of cats who fight for territory. They are super popular. I'm gonna put one of them here so you guys know which ones they are. I found one. My little reader loves them, and they're graphic novels and regular novels, and yeah, so I bought that one. And then the other one is Vespertine. I found Vespertine hardcover, $3. I've seen this one a lot, and I like reading fantasy, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read this one whenever I get a chance, probably for January, because Bookmas is gonna have me in a chokehold for the next what is it today, the 9th, so for the next 15 days. Oh lordy. Okay. For the next 15 days. So maybe on the 26th, I'll be reading Vespertine. And then the other one that I'm super excited about is this one. Why does it have Play-Doh? I didn't even realize that it had Play-Doh on it. Maybe that's why it was $1. Like I said, I went to the bookshop, and a lot of the books were like not in great condition. I see that it's a little bent here, and I didn't even see that it had Play-Doh on it. I just saw it and grabbed it and paid for it, and see, didn't even check. I mean, I think Play-Doh can come up with a little bit of heat, so I might do that. I mean, I don't care that it has Play-Doh on it, honestly. I have a kid. There's Play-Doh. Well, my kid doesn't use Play-Doh anymore, but you know. Anyways, is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. And I've heard so many things about this book. This is the 70th anniversary edition. Someone obviously didn't want this book. I'm gonna take it as a win for me. I really want to read this book. I really love this cover. And yeah, I can't wait to read this one. It was $1. It didn't have a price, so they just let me have it for $1. It's a little bended here, and it's a little, has something here, has Play-Doh here, but that's fine. For $1, who cares? Otherwise, it's in perfect condition. I can remove this pretty easily. And yeah, Vespertine is also in perfect condition. That was $3. So for the warrior cats, or the warriors, was also $1. So for $5 I got 3 books, so that was a pretty good deal. And yeah, those are the books that I got. The other ones are the books that I read. And now it's time to check on my bingo and reading prompts. So let's see what I can mark. I already know that I can mark do a recipe, read a book that has a recipe, and make that. So Christmas recipe that you have to make. So I made the mini the mini cookies, which I already inserted it. So you're gonna see that one. And it was a non-fiction book, so I'm gonna mark that one because I don't know if I'm gonna read another non-fiction. So I'm gonna mark that one. I only have from the extra prompts. From the extra prompts, I only have left read a book about a different holiday and read a book with a movie adaptation and watch it. Every time I try to say adaptation, it doesn't come out right. And then from my regular prompts, read a book about a different holiday tradition. So I don't think, which one could that be? I don't know. I'll see. Okay, let's see from the bingo. From the bingo, I can mark, let's see. I have Book of Poetry, had a lot of snowy things, had a lot of wintry things, because it had like a lot of forest themes. I'm gonna mark the tree because I don't know if it's gonna have something else. What else? I think I'm gonna mark the house with the like small town for the murder mystery. For the thriller, I'm gonna mark the small house. What else? And my nonfiction, it said make your own candy cane, so I'm gonna do that. So I think 1, 2, 3. I still have 15 more days to go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more things. So I think I'm gonna leave my bingo there. I've been kind of not so strict about my bingo because I still have 15 more days and I still have a lot of things to mark. But I think I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it right there. So let me know what you guys have been reading for your Bookmas. If you are participating in this challenge, what books are you reading? Are you only reading like romance books? Are you only reading like thrillers? There's a lot of holiday thrillers and there's a lot of holiday romance. Those are the two major genres for holiday books. Let me know if you're reading any of those, or let me know if you're reading something different. Put them right there in the comments, all of your recs. Also, if you don't know what to comment, what if you just put a little Christmas tree? This time, let's do a little bit of a traditional emoji right there, or a little image. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Remember that on the description you have all the ways that you can support my channel. I really do appreciate it. And remember to visit the Bookmas_challenge over on Instagram, and also the Bookish Floor, where you can see everything that I've been reading over the last year. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep reading and keep blooming, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.